p.m, Sandwell, West Midlands.
Police in Warwickshire have decided it's time to get soft with motorists. For minor offences, drivers are now more likely to be cautioned than prosecuted. Anya Seetharam is in Warwickshire. Anya, why are the police adopting this new approach?
It's an extension of a policy they've been carrying out for some time, John. Today they're making it formal. It's in response to growing public disillusionment with the police, who appear to be soft on criminals and hard on the motorists. So today, in Warwickshire, from today, if you get caught doing a minor traffic offence, you're more likely to get a written caution than a fine, or you may be taken to the mobile police unit behind me for a talking to. The police say this is going to free up time in courts. Earlier I spoke to Warwickshire's Chief Constable, who told me this wasn't a licence for dangerous driving.
There is nothing in this change of policy for the drunken driver, the dangerous driver, or those that are deliberately inconsiderate or careless. What this is about is making greater use of written cautions as opposed to fixed penalty tickets and prosecution.
Health news now. Young cancer sufferers are to be given advice and support with the launch of a new helpline. Cancer is the third most common cause of death in teenagers, but for some, it's not a problem easily shared.
Trina Jordan was just 14 when she discovered she had cancer of the ankle. Her drug treatment has now finished, though her hair hasn't yet grown back. Like 700 other teenagers who are diagnosed with cancer every year, she faces a double burden of cancer and adolescence.
It was really hard. You go through the things like, oh, that's it, I'm not going to have a boyfriend, I'm going to look really awful, no one's going to talk to me, I'm going to have people being horrible and people staring.
From tomorrow morning, teenagers can phone a helpline set up by the Macmillan Cancer Charity. For cancer patients like Sharon, a sympathetic voice can help overcome the overprotective attitude of parents.
It'd be nice to have somebody to talk to your own age, to say what it's like, and see if they felt the same way.
This morning, Big Breakfast presenter Chris Evans launched a helpline that will give Sharon and potentially thousands of teenagers with cancer someone to share their problems.
Ian Botham says he'll probably retire from first-class cricket at the end of the season. The former England captain said that after 10 sports injury operations, he believed his body was trying to tell him something.
After a long innings, the time has finally come for Ian Botham to retire relatively unhurt. For after years of pushing his heavyweight frame to the limit, both on and off the field, the injuries are simply taking too long to heal. He'll play this season for Durham, completing a 2-year contract. He's desperate to play for England again. But his probable retirement date took everyone by surprise today.
Well, I'm 37. I've had 10 operations now to keep me on the field. I don't want to be a cripple when I'm 45. So you've got to think about these things seriously. I would like to go out with a bang, and I can't think of any better way of doing it against the Aussies.
The first of his 102 Test matches was against Australia, and 12 years ago it was his virtuoso performance with bat and ball which demoralised and destroyed the old enemy. Since then, his charity walks have raised a fortune. Even the Australian captain was persuaded to join his long-distance marches. Land's End was conquered in full morning dress. The uniform for the coming summer, not quite in the same league.
No, it's bloody cold, though. It's too cold for cricket. We'll be more than this on if we start playing in this weather.
But whatever the weather, the Australians would prefer to face England without him.
The main news is the violence in South Africa on the day of the funeral of the black leader Chris Hani. President de Klerk has warned of a possible race war. And in Waco, Texas, agents have been pumping tear gas into the compound where a religious cult is under siege. That's Monday's early evening news. Until 5:40 tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Good evening. It's been a day of marked contrasts. Cold with persistent rain in the north of Scotland, dry and mild over much of England and Wales.